Alright, here we are for match number 2 with Rakdos Control. Hopefully this is more successful. My recordings this time around have not been very successful because I just keep on having games that aren't very informative. They're just kind of boring and, well, not really fun to watch in my opinion for you guys, so we'll see how this all works out. I'm up against Delver. Opponent mulligan to 6, so Potassium Probe. Up against Blitz? That very well could be. This card's so good. Sorry if I sound a little tired, it's because I am. I decided to try and get this recording over a little late. I'm still going to play the Mountain here, just to give my opponent a little less information, and mostly to keep up Lightning Bolt, just in case they go turn 2 Kiln Fiend or something. No, I guess it's Delver with Potassium Probe, maybe? Might just be Is it Blitz without a blue. Dispel. Okay, could still be Delver. And he did it incredibly quick, so kind of tells me that they were set up for that. Alright, I'm just going to go Thermal Alchemist here. See what that amounts to. My opponent is very keen on this Delver living, so keep that in mind. Nope, it is a Blitz. I was correct in my way of thinking. Is it Blitz, I don't know. I've never really faced it with this deck. I can't imagine it's very bad. I'd have to imagine it's pretty okay. A Lightning Bolt. Alright, well, I'm going to poke, and then I'm going to go for... Hold on a second. Alright, I'm going to go for Lightning Bolt now, and the reason for that is, you can't, against Is it Blitz, you kind of have to play differently than you normally would. You're better off using your spells as sorceries so that they don't get pumped on their turn. And then I'm going to go for a Night's Whisper here. No. Those 2 lands, they don't help too much. I wanted to kill the Kiln Fiend because I think it's a bit more deadly than a Delver. I have 5 lands, sir. I am on air. But they paid 2 for that, so another Kiln Fiend. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be attacking. I don't think so, anyway. Go ahead and do that. Another Thermal Alchemist. So, I think Beetleback Chief is probably better here. So I'm going to do that. It gives me a bunch of blockers for the Kiln Fiend, just in case. Still racing against the Delver here, though, so we're going to need to draw something at some point. Wow, they still haven't flipped it. Well, luck is part of the game of Magic. This is a Nivik Cyclops. Oh, is it a Gush that's been sitting in their hand? That they just have not used? I could very well be dead this turn. No, it's Cyclops. Okay. Figured as much. I'm pretty sure I can just do this. They're not going to attack. Yeah, I did not think so. Okay, well, there's Terminate. So I think this turn I'm just going to lay this. And I'm going to do this. And I think I'm actually just going to say go. I'm not going to use the Terminate just yet. Also, if my opponent had didn't have Nivik Cyclops there, I would have attacked with the Beetleback Chief. Wow, my opponent still has not flipped. Well, the other thing is about the Delver is that my opponent could just not be flipping it on purpose. So that is something that they could be doing. I don't think my opponent's doing that necessarily, but that is something they could be doing. Is that the one that can be used? Yep. Okay. I still don't want to use the Terminate. I know I'm missing a point by doing that, but I think the way I'm going to win this game is by using as many spells as possible. Alright, well, I'm going to block here. What the hell is this? Apostle's Blessing. That's a bit of a conundrum. So I could take 7, or I could kill this and let my guy die. I think I'm better off just killing the Kiln Fiend and taking 7 and keeping my dude around. Because I can actually somewhat race this, assuming my opponent just doesn't draw very well. Okay, well that's not bad. So I'm going to attack for 4 here, because I have to kill my opponent. I can't just give them infinite time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play this, and I'm just going to pass. I don't actually need to play the extra lands, and keeping them in case I top deck Raven's Crime is definitely a thing. So the good thing is that now that I don't have two, now I have 2 different colored blockers. Wow, my opponent's just not gotten lucky this game at all. I will say that. I don't think my opponent needs to scoop there. I was going to draw like Grimgangler. So I attack with 1, 2, 3, 4. They chump and block. Take 2, and then running spells could actually still kill them. Yeah, I don't think that they need to scoop there, but they felt the need. Okay, so Duress is good, Chainer's Edict is good, and obviously Pyroblast is good. I wish I could say Electricity is good, but it actually isn't. Raven's Crime is very good in this matchup because the less spells they have to use, the better. Same thing with something like Lightning. I don't like Magma Jet in this matchup. I'm actually not a big fan of it because... Oh, no, wait. Wait, what am I talking about? This card's really good. I'm forgetting that Kiln Fiend's a 1-2 all of a sudden for some ungodly reason. So, what do I cut? Well, I know this is going to seem stupid, but I'm going to cut Chittering Rats. I think this is a matchup where I can just be Thermal Alchemist control and win that way. Again, it's also, I think, another matchup where maybe Beetleback Chief is not great in that regard as well. I think Beetleback Chief is a little slow. I don't think I'll need the Grim Harvest. I think I can probably ride 1 Gurmagangler or something to victory. Well, then again, I guess maybe Grim Harvest... Well, let's see, what else can I cut? I could just cut the Phyrexian Ragers and bring back in the Grim Harvest. Now, I know that this particular version of the deck might seem very, very stupid to most people, but I think that this is probably the best iteration that I could go with and just become pure Black-Red Thermal Alchemist control with 3 Gurmaganglers and a Grim Harvest to reoccur my creatures. And then just be straight reactive answers or proactive with duress effects and whatnot. So, well, we're gonna see just how good I can be. Now, the way that I drew that game, I drew a lot of land. I got very, very flooded. But it balanced out because my opponent also got very flooded. It's just that my spells were more powerful than theirs. In that regard. And my spells kind of flowed together better. Other than that, I think if my opponent had actually drawn regularly with my draw, I probably would have died very, very quickly. Alright, I'm going to keep this hand. I think that this hand's really good. It's got 3 lightning bolts, 3 removal spells, and 4... It's basically a mulligan to 6. That's what it is. It's just basically a mulligan to 6. Like, just forget that this isn't here. And for a mulligan to 6, this is a really, really good hand. Ponder. Yep, gonna let that go. No point in not. See what my opponent does with it. Okay, they chose not to shuffle. And there's a Delver. And Delver is going to eat a Bolt. Ooh, Magma Jet's also really good. Pass turn. Another Ponder. Okay, let's see what my opponent does with it. Alright, again, they chose not to shuffle. Comes a Kiln Fiend. I'm going to Magma Jet that on my upkeep. See what I draw. I highly doubt that they're playing days. So I am going to actually keep the Blightning, but I'm going to push the Mountain to the bottom because I don't really need it, and I'd probably need double black. So, alright. I think, yeah, I'll just Lightning Bolt. They have a Dispel, they have a Dispel. I'd rather try and save my Pyroblast if I can. Oh, Hydroblast, okay, sure. Chainer's Edict. Yeah, probably. No, I probably don't want to use that. Actually, here I'm just going to Blightning. I could take a little bit of damage from the Kiln Fiend, I think. I think Blightning's probably better just to get a couple cards out of their hand. They can't Gush at the moment, so... Ooh. Discarding 2 Lightning Bolts is actually not bad. 2 more Kiln Fiends. Alright, well, I'm going to kill both of them. Chainer's Edict is really important. The reason? It kills Nivix Cyclops. Excuse me. That is the main reason. Alright, so we're going to Lightning Bolt. And I think here we'll just Chainer's Edict, actually, to hold up the Terminate. Hopefully my opponent does not top deck Gush. If they did, that's going to suck. Oh, well, they just scoop. Yeah, I mean, against a deck like that, it's basically just, I'm going to try to remove a creature from them every single turn. And I think they, at that point, would have been a Delver and like 3 or I think all 4 Kiln Fiends down, possibly. And I was not running out of gas anytime soon. So, there you go. Guys, I don't know. What's my verdict on this deck? It's not a bad deck. It's not a bad... No, excuse me. It's not a bad deck at all. I don't know if I would suggest it to you because, again, I feel like it doesn't have enough stuff in any department. I feel like it doesn't have really enough burn to get there. I feel like it doesn't have enough ways to draw cards. It doesn't really have enough creatures that aren't fragile in the format. Like, you don't really have a lot of evasion. You don't have a very good reoccurring game. It's really good if you expect a lot of aggro. But, again, I don't even know how good of a stompy matchup this deck has. And, well, from off-camera testing, red deck wins is not that great of a matchup. Delver, not that great of a matchup. Again, I kind of feel like I have to get extra lucky to win with this deck. And again, it might just be that my sideboard's bad. It could be that this is not the correct list. I am certainly open to these ideas. And I don't want to say don't play this deck. This is not blue-green threshold. This is not me telling you this is a bad deck, don't play it. I happen to think that this deck's actually quite good. I just don't know if it's good enough. Especially not right now. But, then again, if you want to try it, it's been doing really well in the Pauper events, Pauper Classic Tuesdays, and the Pauper Championship. It has 5-0'd some leagues. I believe 4 in total. I'm sure it's still being played. Maybe it just isn't putting up 5-0 results. Maybe it's 4-1-ing. Maybe it's 3-2-ing a lot. But I'm going to keep working on this deck. This is definitely not the only time you'll ever see me bring this deck to you. There's definitely some different ideas that I need to take with this deck. So, let me know what you guys think. If you think that this deck is good, if you think it's bad, if you've tried it and you think it's bad, if you haven't tried it but you're going to, let me know. My final verdict, try the deck out for yourself. Tinker around with it, come to your own type of list, because I think the idea is there. I think it's just, there's a bit to be explored. Maybe this should be a straight-up Thermal Alchemist deck, or Gurmag Angler control deck. Maybe it shouldn't have Chittering Rats in it. Maybe Chittering Rats just isn't really good enough. Maybe it should have more Blightnings. Maybe it should have more Raven's Crime effects. I don't know. Maybe it should have a second Read the Bones. It's hard to tell. So, I'm going to keep testing this deck. I'm going to bring it to you in the future. I hope you guys have fun with it. I hope you guys like this set of videos. And as always, check out PureMTGO.com. They have tons of great articles from tons of great writers that are much better than me. And I think you'll have a lot of fun reading them. And again, I'm your host, Arctic Ghost. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.